Imagine a tiny European country so small you can walk from one end to the other in just a few hours. A country that's not even a blip on the radar of most world maps. And yet, it's one of the wealthiest countries in the world. How is that possible? Let me introduce you to Liechtenstein, a magical princedom between Switzerland and Austria. Despite being only 62 square miles and having a population of fewer than 40,000 people, Liechtenstein has a GDP per capita that's up there with any other country on the planet. But don't let its small size fool you. Liechtenstein's story is one of remarkable resilience, ingenuity, and cultural heritage. From its medieval roots as a feudal state ruled by the princes of Liechtenstein, to its present-day status as a hub of creative entrepreneurship and innovative economic policies, Liechtenstein is a country that defies expectations. But underneath this European success story, the economy has a darker side. A tax haven for the rich and powerful that funnels wealth generated in other countries to hidden bank accounts that allow their owners to hide their riches and avoid tax. The princedom also gives its unelected ruler significant political powers over the parliament and judicial system. So join us on this journey, which isn't without its bumps in the road, as we explore how a small valley became one of the world's wealthiest countries per member of the population. But before we get into it, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe. We will cover some important and controversial topics on this channel, and your support will really help us with the algorithm. Liechtenstein's story began in the early 18th century when a wealthy Austrian family, the Princes of Liechtenstein, purchased some land in western Austria and eastern Switzerland. Over time, the family grew its estate by acquiring more territories, until, in 1917, they were granted the status of imperial princes by the Holy Roman Emperor, Charles VI. This marked the beginning of the princely house of Liechtenstein, which still rules the country today. For much of its history, Liechtenstein remained a small, isolated country surrounded by larger and more powerful neighbours. Its economy was primarily based on agriculture and handicrafts until the mid-20th century, when things began to change. In the aftermath of World War II, Liechtenstein found itself in a favourable position. Its geographical location and neutral status made it an attractive destination for wealthy individuals and businesses looking to protect their assets from the ravages of war. At the same time, Liechtenstein's ruling family embraced a business-friendly environment, creating a legal framework that made it easy for companies to register in the country. In 1926, Liechtenstein passed a law allowing the formation of Anstalts, or holding companies, which allowed businesses to reduce their tax burden and protect their assets. This law, coupled with Liechtenstein's strict banking secrecy laws, helped to attract a flood of foreign investment to the country. As Liechtenstein's economy grew, the country also embraced a more diverse range of industries. In addition to finance, Liechtenstein is now a major producer of high-tech goods, such as electronics, machinery, and medical devices. This has allowed the country to weather economic downturns and maintain its status as one of the world's wealthiest nations. So, from its origins as a feudal state ruled by the Princes of Liechtenstein, to its post-World War II transformation into a hub of international finance and industry, Liechtenstein's story is one of adaptability, innovation, and resilience. So, how has this country become one of the richest in the world? We must recognize the country's economic policies when understanding how Liechtenstein became wealthy. From its low tax regime to its business-friendly regulations, Liechtenstein has created an environment conducive to growth and innovation. So much so that according to the World Bank, the country's GDP per capita was $180,098 in 2021, making it one of the world's wealthiest countries. In fact, second only to the Principality of Monaco by recent estimations. One of the key aspects of Liechtenstein's economic policies is its low tax regime. The country has one of the lowest tax rates in Europe, with a flat income tax of 12.5% and no capital gains tax or wealth tax. This has attracted wealthy individuals and businesses from around the world who are looking for a favourable tax environment. Not only is tax low on a personal level, but also for companies. There is no corporation tax in Liechtenstein, which has made Liechtenstein an attractive destination for businesses looking to minimise their tax burden. Liechtenstein also has a highly developed financial sector, contributing significantly to the country's wealth. The country is home to many banks and financial institutions, including LGT Bank and VP Bank, which offer a range of services to clients around the world. The financial sector has been a significant source of employment and economic growth for Liechtenstein. It has helped to establish the country as a major player in the global financial system. The low tax rates become even more attractive to wealthy individuals looking to hide their money when you add Liechtenstein's long tradition of banking secrecy and ease of setting up holding companies. The country's Anstallslaw allows for the frictionless formation of holding companies and transfer of ownership, allowing businesses and individuals to reduce their tax burden and hide their assets. These policies have attracted a wide range of businesses to Liechtenstein, from finance and insurance to high-tech manufacturing and services. Registered companies include Hilti, the Liechtenstein-based manufacturer of power tools and construction equipment, and LGT Group, one of the largest private banking and asset management groups in the world, with over $240 billion in assets under management. These companies have contributed to Liechtenstein's economy and helped establish the country as a hub of innovation and entrepreneurship. However, Liechtenstein has also carefully balanced its desire for economic growth with environmental and social concerns. The country has implemented strict environmental regulations to protect its natural resources and has invested heavily in renewable energy. In addition, Liechtenstein has a strong social welfare system, providing its citizens with high-quality healthcare, education, and other services. It's worth noting that Liechtenstein's economic policies have not been without controversy. Some have criticised the country's low tax regime and banking secrecy laws, arguing that they promote tax evasion and money laundering. Others have pointed to the country's lack of transparency and accountability, noting that the ruling family has significant control over the country's political and economic landscape. One key source of criticism for Liechtenstein's economic policies is the banking sector, which has been accused of facilitating tax evasion and money laundering. In 2008, Liechtenstein was embroiled in a major tax evasion scandal, involving investigations in multiple countries, most notably Germany. The scandal centered around allegations that citizens from various countries had evaded tax obligations using banks and trusts in Liechtenstein. The affair broke open with the largest complex of investigations ever initiated for tax evasion in the Federal Republic of Germany. Liechtenstein's banks came under fire as part of the scandal, with accusations that they had facilitated the tax evasion by offering secrecy to their clients. The country's laws allow businesses and individuals to register in Liechtenstein and move profits made in other economies in the form of payments for intellectual property. These payments are commonly for the total profit generated by the business, meaning they do not pay any corporation tax in those countries. The secrecy laws then allow wealthy individuals to hide income and assets, such as the companies they own, from the countries they live in to avoid personal taxes and scrutiny over conflicts of interest in their business dealings. The government of Liechtenstein defended its banks during the investigation and has since taken steps to address these issues, such as joining international initiatives to combat tax evasion and money laundering. However, the country's unique constitution allows for a lack of transparency, not usually tolerated by voters in other European states. Despite being a Western democracy, the current prince has significant political power that he uses to shape the economy and legal systems. He can dissolve parliaments, dismiss ministers, veto the outcomes of popular votes, and is involved in appointing judges. Most of Liechtenstein's citizens do not want to change this constitutional arrangement. Between 2/3 and 3/4 of the voting population still supports the monarch's powers, and 65% voted to extend the prince's powers in 2003. In 2012, 75% of voters rejected a proposal to limit his powers following his veto of the outcome of a referendum. Liechtenstein faces challenges in terms of social welfare. Despite its wealth, the country has a relatively high poverty rate, with 11% of all households having an income below 60% of the national median. This relative poverty is particularly present among the elderly. Liechtenstein has implemented various social welfare policies to address this, including a minimum wage and a comprehensive social security system. However, there is room for improvement in reducing inequality and ensuring all citizens have access to essential social services. Despite these criticisms, Liechtenstein's economic policies have undoubtedly contributed to the country's impressive wealth and prosperity. Liechtenstein has established itself as one of the world's wealthiest and most innovative countries by creating a business-friendly environment and attracting a wide range of businesses and individuals. Liechtenstein is a small but prosperous country with a rich cultural heritage, favourable economic policies, and a commitment to environmental sustainability. Despite criticisms and challenges, Liechtenstein has balanced economic growth with social welfare and preserved its unique traditions. We have seen how Liechtenstein's low tax regime and business-friendly regulations have attracted successful businesses and foreign investment, contributing to the country's wealth, and how Liechtenstein's picturesque landscapes and art scene have made it a hub of creativity and innovation. Due to its unusually small size, it goes under the radar on the scene of the world economy, despite many impressive statistics regarding its wealth rank per capita. But the microstate secrecy laws and the significant powers of the unelected monarchy put into question if Liechtenstein is playing by the same rules as other rich nations. So, let us know below, did you realize the extent of this small valley in Europe's wealth? Thank you for joining us on this journey through the wealth and riches of Liechtenstein. If you found this video informative, please share it with your friends and family, and remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more content from IE.